Okay, introduce yourself.
This is Fred. Fred Rick the Curry. And I'm here tonight to talk to you about magic and what makes it work. The common denominator of all magic, whether the Dublin wand or the PZM or the traveling hoop or the time travel watch, is a model of copies of particle action: proton, neutron, and electron. There are three models that regulate the action of the copies. One model actuates electrons, another copy governs protons, while a third copy handles neutrons and makes them spin just the way they do. Now, magic works when we place a metal ring on an axial rod of the model of copies, and it causes the spin of that particle to spin out of balance. So all across the galaxy, the particles are spinning out of balance because of a zinc weight on one of the axes of the model of copies.
So,
Oh, go ahead, ask a question.
okay, the model of copies is like the original, the super version.
It's like the handwritten that the Xerox copies are made from.
Okay, okay.
And every particle of physical reality is just a Xerox copy of the original model of copies that was just a handmade device by Christ. What it looks like is three axes at right angles, all three right angles, up, side, and front. And what it does, it moves around as if a spinning ball were spinning around the three axes in a vector spin, causing axial displacement. And it indicates the axial displacement caused if they were the three axes of spin of a single spinning ball. The axial displacements that would cause are indicated by the movement of the three axes of spin in the model of copies.
What are the three axes of spin?
Turn, tumble, and twirl.
Which can you indicate with your hands?
Oh, well, imagine a ball,
Okay.
just like this, but once it starts spinning, pretty soon it takes on axes and a right-angled equator of spin.
Okay.
And then if it starts tumbling over and over its equator at an equal rate that it's spinning around the equator, that's two axial spin. And then if it twirls around as well, that's triaxial spin. If there's an axis in the middle of the equator and a right-angle equatorial axes, both spinning the ball around them as axes of spin, then that's triaxial spin, which particles spin in.
Okay, so spin would be the motion in space of the particle around another point?
No, that's orbit.
Okay.
It's just that I'm just talking about the particles, not the atoms.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the atoms later. I haven't studied
Okay.
those yet.
Cool.
Anyway, but the particle spins on a triaxial spin. It cuts corners on the spin, taking the shortest route among the three axes, causing axial displacement. Now, the model of copies are just the three rods, without a ball, just going through axial displacement that would imply a vector spinning ball within. So if you place a metal ring on one of the axial rods, it would cause an outbalance effect on that particle all across the galaxy. And then when you hold a simple reminder of the weight, for example, the zinc weight is reminded us by the PZM. If we hold a PZM stationary, the zinc weight outbalance effect that it causes will be shown to us when the feelings of another person are received on our sensory receptors.
Wow.
You darken your hair. You see.
The copper topper and the
Oh,
gold
yes.
ring.
Now I want to talk about the awards I won from Christ for being so virtuous all my life and putting up with so much injustice. I won the copper topper and the gold ring to be put on axes of my choice. And the gold ring was put on the last axes, the twirl axes of neutron, and it allows me to travel in time with a watch being held stationary as the stable datum about the gold weight on that axis. The outbalance effect is that I can get out of time and re-enter time digitally any time in the past or any time in the future with my digital traveling watch, my appointment watch. I set the time to any date and time, press the red button, step back into the alcove, press the red button, and all about me is that time, in a sidetrack time. And then it blends in again when I leave. and nobody remembers my having been there. But I can show you paintings by Bruegel the Elder.
Tell us about that painting.
Well, it's a portrait of me at a wedding supper. Okay, that I got from traveling in time. And now the copper topper, for me, was placed on the zinc weight, so that my PZM would work, that I could actually touch and hold and have intercourse. But then I rejected that, and the copper topper was taken off of that, and things got narrow again. But it was put on the gold weight. Now the copper topper works for me to read recordings in stone.
In stone?
I can hear, because of orbital ruffling effect caused by sound and sight in the environment. Forms in the environment will cause ruffling of the form will cause orbital ruffling, as well as sound will cause orbital ruffling. Measured at that time, can give recordings from stone. It plays jewelry. It plays gold. There's nothing like the feel of real gold. Well, that's all I want to say. Thank you.